Well, hello, everyone. Welcome. Hey, for the first time in a long time, we're able to say on the introduction for this show, Orange County SC won a match. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what's ahead here in the future, plus a little bit of other stuff. We'll figure it out. Let's get this thing started. Welcome to the Show of Champions. This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast. How's it going, Orange County? Welcome to another episode of the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, the first and only podcast dedicated to Orange County Soccer Club, its fans, and supporters. I'm your host, Ray Zamora. I'm here to take you through this journey as we discuss all things Orange County Soccer Club. Helping me out for this episode, let's go, Dylan. Welcome.
Hey, thanks, Ray. I'll just start this episode by saying Samora out. Also, I think it was 25 days between wins, but I'm not the resident statistician, so I'm sure I'll be corrected.
Why are you saying Samora out? Like, why?
Why not?
Man, why do I always get so much hate when the real villain, the real heel of this show is Mr. Brad in Vegas? Brad, how we doing? I guess Dylan wants me to take over your job as heel because he's trying to kick me out of here.
Well, there are two guarantees in life. Every day of the week ends with Y, and hashtag some more out will be trending constantly.
Wow. I am feeling the love from all of y'all. It's not even, man, I'm sad now. I am very sad now. There goes all my energy. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Brad.
There's nothing to be sad about. Orange County won a match, ladies and gentlemen. Orange County did not concede. Orange County played well. Colin Shuttler has to be man of the match. Correct?
So, well, here's one thing. I'm going to try and make you sad, Dylan, because you said, 25 days since Orange County won a match? The last match they won goes all the way back to July 20th, almost 2 months, which if I do the math, 25 is nowhere close to 2 months. So
yeah, that's on me for forgetting that it was September already and not August.
But hey, Orange County did come out victorious. 1-0 against our opponent this past weekend, which was Rhode Island FC. And I'm going to just come out right here and say it. I think credit for this victory has to really, truly go to Colin Shuttler for some amazing saves between the sticks. I think without some of those saves, which were spectacular saves, Orange County is on looking at another disappointing match and outcome. Dylan, do you disagree with me on that statement?
I don't. Yeah, there's a lot to take away from this match. I really enjoyed getting to see what Danny Stone's Orange County Soccer Club looks like. I really enjoyed getting to see, Orange County actually creating and threatening in a couple different ways. And also when we took our foot off the gas, not looking like it was going to fall apart instantly. Now, credit to where credit is due. Wow, Colin Shuttler, what a night. And this is the right time to be getting into that kind of stand on your head, lights out performance. It's the business end of the season. We needed to win this match. We need to win a whole bunch of other matches. And look, if he's not going to have a great match like he did, Tomas Gomez can step up and probably take his spot. We saw him. Those goalkeepers, our two goalkeepers, are the two highest rated players on our team in terms of average performance rating this season. Now, I know that Gomez has a much smaller sample size, but they are so crucial. I mean, this feels like such a stupid statement, but they're so crucial to the way that Orange County plays, especially because it's been a little bit chaotic at the back this year. But if you have a dude that can make great fingertip saves, push things off the post, great reaction saves, hold on to them, that's all you need. Every match is a playoff. This one almost felt like one, just not as terrifying in the last 20 minutes. And Orange County got 3 points.
Orange County did get 3 points, and the reason for that 3 points, not only the great saves made by Colin Shuttler, but an amazing, powerful goal by a youngster on the team, Bryce Jamison. Can we even, like, he should no longer be just called a youngster. I mean, he's legit like a star on this team now. It's not like it's a youngster just getting some minutes to prove himself. He's proven himself, and he's earned the minutes he's getting. Bryce Jamison with a goal in this match. Brad, your thoughts on Jamison's goal and overall the match?
Yeah, I mean, Jamison he's creating. He either looks like the best player out on the pitch at times, or he's just running laps for fun, depending on like who's around him and how's it going. 100% agree, though, that Shuttler is man of the match in this game. He made 6 really good saves. If he's not on Team of the Week, even as a bench nomination, I don't know what the league's looking at, because this game was the roughest and toughest 1-0 win that Orange County has ever produced. I don't think they got outworked, but Rhode Island came with 18 shots, 6 wonderful saves from Shuttler, keeps all 18 shots out of the net. And a couple of other shout-outs I had watching this game. First, Dogman's playing up higher now. He's not your left back. He's not running the full length of the pitch every time. And you can see with Danny Stone, he sees Dogman as one of the lead producers, that the ball is going to go through him. And you know what? This is a change that we've been looking for. Having someone up top like Dogman, and I guess the answer was just put Dogman up there. And also, the kind of surprise on the lineup for me, Pedro Guimaraes. I'm gonna get beat by
Come on, man.
By Dylan here.
We did this the first time he played. I even played phonetic. No.
Dylan,
right, say it for me once.
Teach Brad.
Guimaraes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Pedro. I'll just play that raccoon song that Charleston plays every time they win in my head, every time I think your name instead. But, credit to the 16-year-old coming on, and, I thought he was going to be a liability, not playing many games at this level. I think he made a mistake or two, but nothing like that really sticks out that I can call out. And he held his own. He's still young. You said that it's time to stop calling Jamison a youngster, and that's just because we have youngsters that are playing.
He's gone.
I thought he was pausing for dramatic effect there, but apparently we lost connection with Brad mid-sentence. But I'm going to jump on there and just talk about what we were seeing out of what Brad was discussing. And Pedro, an amazing appearance from the 16-year-old. One of the reasons Ryan Dogman makes the trek higher up the pitch, and Pedro looked like a true player out there. It didn't look like someone that the club has just guaranteed he's going to get so many minutes this year just to sort of develop. He looked like a legit player on this team. He looked composed. He played pretty comfortable with the ball at his feet. He made a few clearances in the box that were really key for Orange County's success in this. It's very rare that you can see and that you can say a 16-year-old is making a solid contribution to a professional team anywhere, not just like, USL Championship. I mean, anywhere. And he did a really good job with that. And yes, it was nervous to hear that he's in the starting lineup for this match. You're worried about that. But in the end, I'm looking at it as he was an amazing, integral part of this result for Orange County at 16 years old, which was amazing. Brad's working on getting his connection back up, so I'm going to go to Dylan first.
I think we need to, give him a little more respect and learn to actually how to say his name. Again, Guimaraes. Maybe I'm wrong, but that is
karma
how it's
over.
said. Also, he's not just there because Orange County likes to throw teenagers in and sometimes works out. He's there because he earned that spot. And also, Danny Stone played to the strengths of individuals to get the best out of his team performance. Ryan Dogman is a very attacking fullback. Giving him someone that is more defensive minded behind him means that he's going to have, and I mean, he's been on and off injured all season long. In my mind, that really freed him up to not have to just constantly be sprinting back to try and prevent a breakaway or a counterattack, get in the way of one of those. Moving Dunbar over into the 10. We haven't had someone that's been super great, in really tight spaces the way that Brian Olowski is until this weekend. We throw Dunbar in the 10. He did super well. That was amazing. That was really great to watch. And then obviously Danny Stone spoke so highly of Ethan Zubak last week. Didn't get on the score sheet this week, but had a pretty decent match. And again, wow, Pedro Guimaraes, what a first start, young man. I look forward to seeing what else he can do for the probably brief amount of time that he's going to be with us if this debut or if this first start is anything to go by.
Yeah, I know. Amazing from him. Brad, I'll let you speak, but I just want to jump in here. Hey, 4 players that made the appearance for the match for Orange County, 19 and younger. In Pedro Guimaraes.
Okay, now you're just doing it on purpose.
Guimaraes.
No, yeah, I mean that's.
I'm saying it over and over so I can try and get it into my head. And obviously, if you watched the stream, both of the commentators were saying it differently. So obviously, it's not just something that we're having difficulty with. There's other areas where it's having difficulty. The reason I'm having difficulty is I'm trying to say it the right way instead of just saying it the way it looks on paper. Brad, what do you have to say about this before we sort of wrap this up and move on?
I mean, 100%. Pedro had himself a good game. It's hard coming in late in the season as a 16-year-old who only really got signed, a month ago, and make an impact, especially on an injury-riddled team. I know this is technically his second, I think, appearance, but it's his first start, and he played a good 70-ish minutes, I believe it was. Fortunately, when my dog turned off my computer, I apologize for that. She also turned off the stats I had up. So, but great debut from him. It was good seeing the change, having Dogman up top. I don't think that that's his natural position or a position that I expected him to play, but he came in and did a phenomenal job, if you ask me. And really the key player of that game, as we've already discussed, Shuttler. Nothing else but to say he had a lot of saves that could easily have been nominated for Save of the Week. So take your choice, USL Championship. You have plenty to choose from there. Make sure you make the right choice and at least put one up there.
Yes. Exciting performance from Orange County. Hopefully they can now build off of this. It looks like Danny Stone has got the crew moving in the right direction. They look motivated to play for him. They look like those 2 weeks that they didn't play a match, they were able to sort of work on some of Stone's tactics and sort of getting away from the previous 2 coaches' tactics to keep the ball rolling on this and to stay positive. They need to travel north to get a victory in the Bay, the other Bay up north.
No,
the other Bay
Not
up north.
Quite.
Monterey Bay, right?
Yeah, but they don't call it the Bay. It's not even the South Bay.
Seaside, Oceanside, something side.
Well, the South Bay is like San Pedro, right? Hey, Superfan Dan is joining us on this to talk about this. Hey, it's a bay, right? It is a bay.
We are the Monterey Bay. It is the Monterey Bay Marine Sanctuary, which reaches all the way up into the San Francisco Bay.
What's the better bay, San Francisco or Monterey?
The larger bay would be San Francisco, but the Monterey
I didn't say
Bay
larger. I said, what's the better? What's the better?
I just said Monterey Bay is where it's at.
And
good to see you, gentlemen.
Good to see you. And I going a little bit off topic here. You were listening in the background to me stumbling on pronunciation of names. I know you're a Newcastle fan. Similar spelling of a player's last name. How do we say it properly? There we go.
Guimaraes. Yep.
There we go. That's the best we're gonna have to
Dylan
figure out.
has it. I mean, it's and he's Brazilian, so I mean, and yep.
Here's what I'm gonna.
Guimaraes.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask producer Andy to get a clip of that pronunciation. And every time I'm supposed to say that word, I'm just going to ask him to play that audio for me. And that'll make things work.
We'll fix it in post. You can see who does the homework on this show, Dan.
We'll give credit to Superfan Dan every time we use that name.
Bruno, that's all we do. We've got Bruno in the middle.
Okay, sorry. Why don't we just go with Pedro? Let's go, Pedro. We got this.
Let's go, Pedro. Yep.
Superfan Dan. For those that have not been paying attention to y'all up there in the northern part of the state,
nicely
how
done,
are things going?
Tough. It's been well, since Yallop was dismissed. We're on a 9-game winless streak. We just played Las Vegas, which I think we all can agree is a different team than we've played in past years. Joey Batista really has seemed to have turned things around up there. But we're also, struggling simply with the injury bug that has seemed to have plagued us all 3 of our seasons. We went into this match against Las Vegas shorn of Tristan Traeger, who was out, who's our leading scorer this season. We were without Adrian Rebelliar, who has been instrumental in midfield. Siaha, our regular starting keeper, has been out. Carlos Herrera is a wonderful deputy. We are truly blessed to have 2 really terrific goalkeepers. But Anthony has now been out 2 games in a row. So we've seen Carlos come in. It feels kind of chop change. We brought Kristen Valesky back for the last 10 games of the season. But even he went off earlier than expected in the match. And Max Glasser, who has played his entire high school and college career as a winger and has played his entire professional career as a fullback, either right-sided or left-sided, finished the game as the 9 for us because we didn't have any other options. So it's been, the last few weeks have been tough. It really has been tough.
Speaking of the last few weeks, I'm just going to ask you this, and I'm not trying to be mean about this,
Sure.
but would the low point of Monterey Bay's 2024 campaign be what took place on August 31st? Be losing to a team that I believe has only won 3 matches all season?
Yeah, you could say that. Gifting a team who had not won a game in 17, their 18th or their 3rd win in 18. Yeah, that was tough. That was really difficult.
So Orange County experienced a low point when we lost 6-0 to Charleston. Have you seen, and we saw some struggles even after that match, coaching changes. But this last match now, it seems, and even previous match against Vegas, it looked like Orange County was sort of turning the corner now, and hopefully they've figured that out. Have you seen any positive stuff out of Monterey Bay since that loss to Miami that gives you hope for the remainder of the season, or is the team still looking for what they need to do to fix that?
Again, it goes back to being chop change. It's just struggling to put together a consistent 11 has been our difficulty thus far. I mean, we were shorn due to long-term injuries of, Luther Archimed, from who we picked up in the offseason from Sacramento. We've lost Chase Boone, who's been over the last 2 years talismanic for us into a long-term injury as well. Just all of our attacking depth has been whittled away throughout the season. And then, the dismissal of Yallop and Corrales, the retirement of Simon Dawkins, bringing in Jordan Stewart as from the Earthquakes next what do they call it? Next Pro, MLS Next Pro, from their group in as our head coach, a new young head coach in his first head coaching capability. Again, the consistency over the last 6 to 8 weeks for us has been the difficulty. I mean, we can all agree going away to Louisville is going to be a difficult match to play in in any formation. Going 4-1 down to Louisville at their place, that was a difficult pill to swallow, and unfortunately, that also proved to be the catalyst for Yallop's dismissal. But as you can see in the 8 games that we've played since Yallop and Corrales left, we haven't won. We're struggling to find goals. You can see, go look at our record. We've got several defensive performances. The problem is on the other end is the offense, and that's why they brought in a player like Christian Valesky, who is all right now in our franchise, our all-time leading scorer and leading assist maker. But in only 2 matches that he's played, he's also found it difficult to find the ability to put shots on target. So for us, it's just finding that consistency, finding that capability to put together a cohesive performance from back to front. I said to Jordan on a Saturday in Las Vegas, I thought the first half was the best 45 minutes we've seen under Jordan Stewart. Unfortunately, I think we tired, and because we've got so many injuries that are giving us trouble right now. Just trying to find something to put out there that can produce has eluded us thus far. I think the remainder of the season is going to see more of that. Sorry, Dylan, go ahead.
No, please. To continue talking a little bit about the injury crisis, because Orange County had one of those this year. Do you think the surface in Monterey has anything to do with that? Obviously, it's an AstroTurf field. I mean, has that been a thing? Have they mostly been off the road or on the road?
They've been freakish. That's the thing. Is the I don't think it's surface related. It is that FIFA Pro 2 level, FIFA level approved turf. It's the best turf you can get. It's as natural to real grass as you can get. I don't think it's surface related. They just have been freak injuries. The one to Luther Archimed was in the Open Cup in Sacramento. He just overextended and damaged his knee. Same thing with Chase Boone. It was the opposite knee to the knee that he's had reconstructed earlier in his career when he was much younger, 22, 23 years old. I think over time, over the 3-4 years that he was rehabbing from that injury, the other knee kind of, was made to sacrifice in order to give him that level of playing capability. And I think it caught up to him because he's had more work on that patella thing on the other knee. I don't think it's the surface. It's everybody that plays on that surface tells us how good it is. It's been just freak injuries. I don't have any other answers other than that, Dylan.
That's fair enough. I'm just very cognizant, I think, of turf after the horrors of playing in Indy this year.
And we could say the same thing about Miami. I mean, playing on that pitch at FIU or Pitbull Stadium, playing there, you could see as the sun went down and the artificial light, the nighttime lights came on, the sheen on that turf shows us how worn that field was. I'm sorry, it just isn't. It's not worthy of being a playing surface for professional sports. So, and you could see it. I am wary of turf pitches. I think anybody who's played the game would say they would rather play on natural grass. Absolutely. The pitch that we've got is the best in the business, and it's. Would it be great to play on grass every day? Absolutely. But our pitch is maintained very well. So
good to know. Things sound very doom and gloom for you. And obviously, you're second bottom, so I get it. Things have been rather doom and gloom around here as well. But you're only 3 points out of potentially being in 8th place. So you're very much like everybody else from really Phoenix down. You're in it.
It's
and it's very tight. I mean, is it
very
how
tight.
is the mood around the club? Because you're still in it.
Yeah. Again, the fans are behind the team without question. I mean, the fans are behind whatever 11 we put out on the pitch. You're going to get 100% support from us. We are definitely in it. The Western Conference has been tight all season long. I think we could all see that. I mean, at one point we were in third, but we had 2 or 3 teams just below us with 2 to 3 games in hand. So all it takes is one trip up, and all of a sudden you're dropping points. I think that the low point for us, Yallop being dismissed and then losing back to back to the 12th teams in both conferences, that's morale sucking. It's it's hard to watch those kinds of performances and go, when every point matters. Those are the teams that you need to put away, and sadly we failed in both regards. Doom and gloom, no. Like I said, the fans are 100% behind the guys in the crisp and kelp. We want to see performances that we can build on, and like I said, our defense has been chop changed all season long. Our offense has been chop changed all along. Our midfield has not been consistent, and then we lost a pillar as well in Rafa Baca, who left mutually after the Yallop dismissal, and now he's popped up at Oakland. We just need to score goals, guys. That's what you need. You need to score goals to win games, and unfortunately, we're finding it difficult to do that right now.
Got it. One final one for you.
Sure.
It really feels like Monterey and Orange County are maybe just one and the same in the seasons. Massive injury crises, head coach merry-go-round situation going on. I think our head coaches have been at the club for similar amounts of time. What tactically has changed in the last 6 weeks for you?
Well, so our first criticism, I think, of Jordan Stewart's reign was, we heard lots of promise of changing tactics, producing more, that kind of thing. But we were seeing the same 4-2-3-1 formation coming out. We've seen a different tact over the last couple of weeks. We've seen a 3-5-2 formation come out with Alex Lara and Carlos Guzman and Kai Green at the back, and then using wing backs. We had Alex Dixon and Maury Donor playing wing backs last weekend, not in Vegas, but the game before that. Again, it's just finding that consistency. Pierce Galloway made only, I think, his 3rd start of the season, including the Open Cups, in midfield this last weekend. And he's a tall, very capable. Ramiro Corrales deployed him as a sweeper for MBFC2. He's been playing largely as a defensive midfielder for us in the 6, because that's what he was. That's his best position from his school days. So it just, again, being able to put an 11 out there that can produce is I think Jordan's greatest challenge right now, is just finding the right, instead of pounding square pegs into round holes, just trying to find where the pieces fit. Well, I think the difference we've seen, obviously you guys were talking about it before I came on, the difference that you guys have seen is your academy has always produced. You're seeing that pipeline coming through from your academy, and we've announced an academy, but we haven't seen any production from that yet. So, I mean, to have Pedro Guimaraes be able to come in at 16 years old and put in a performance like he has, we're ready to see that kind of production out of Monterey Bay as well. We signed several homegrown players from the MBFC2 roster last year. From last year's roster, made the team this year. Anthony Orendine, Miggy Guerrero, again, Pierce Galloway. And then we also got Jerry Ione when the Quakes 2 released him at the end of last season. We were able to pick him up. So there's another Salinas native. So we've got local guys, local talents, but those are collegiate players, guys who have been playing for a while. To see 16-year-olds come on and do what Pedro did is impressive, and we're hoping to see that kind of pipeline starting up here in the next season or two.
Awesome. Yeah, no, totally feel the same vibe that we've been kind of stuck in that same rut this season. And I don't want to look too far into the future because obviously there's still stuff to play for. But with the seasons coming around the corner, what's the wish list for Monterey Bay? And I'll divide it up into 2 points. For the end of the year, what's the wish list? And in the off season that's coming up, since we won't get a talk before then, what's the wish list for off season discussions as well?
For the rest of the season, I'd just like to see 3 points every week from here on out. That would be fantastic. The effort is there, guys. We can see the effort on the pitch. We're not seeing the results that we're hoping to see. And I think it's frustrating for everybody. I mean, from the front office all the way down. The longer the minutes go without a goal scored, it's frustrating. We're coming around to season ticket renewal time as well for us, and that kind of puts a crunch on the front office trying to find a product that the fans can get behind. So yeah, for wish list for the last 8 games of the season, 7 games of the season, could we get 21 points? That would be fantastic. I think it's going to be hard going, but what is my wish list for the off season coming into 2025? Can we go a season without a horrific injury crisis? Can we go a season without losing, key members of the team for long periods of time? If you go back and look at 2022 and 2023, we had similar situations where we lost, Hugh Roberts for 5 games, our captain and central defender. We lost Sam Gleadle for several matches. We lost, Rafa Baca. We've lost. You look across the roster over the last 3 seasons, we go through these periods where we lose a whole chunk of guys due to injury. And there could be something said about travel. I don't think anybody is going to shy away from the fact that flying from the West Coast to Miami or to Charleston or to Pittsburgh, are long haul flights that our guys look forward to. That's a lot of time spending time in airports, with connections, and they're not chartered flights, guys. They're flying economy. And when you put a guy like Chase Boone or Luther Archimed at 6'4", 6'5", or Anthony Siaha in an economy seat, come on, guys. Those are knees in the back of seats. It's not pleasant. So for me, yeah, the wish list for the rest of the season is get as many points as we can get. Try and get, like Dylan said, we're only 3 points out of 8. I would love to see that come to fruition. And then in the off season, let's put together a roster that can stay healthy and can produce, because we can play some really beautiful football when all of our pieces are available.
Yeah, I mean, you guys had a streak of, I believe it was 4 games that currently going without a goal. The last goal coming in mid-August. Another thing that we here in Orange County can relate, because we went 5 games without a goal. Is this just balls aren't finding the back of the net, or is this just lack of opportunities being created, kind of like the case of the Yips?
If you look at I love that you said that. Way to go, Brad. I think if you go look at it, I mean, our first shot on target against Las Vegas was in the 87th minute. That says something, doesn't it? If you've spent 87 minutes trying to get to somewhere within the 18 that you could take a shot on target, that's definitively problematic for your strike force if you're finding it that difficult to come up with chances. we've got guys who can produce. We know that. We've got Alex Dixon. We've got Adrian Rebelliar. We've got Walmer Martinez. We've got Tristan Traeger. We've got Christian Valesky. We've got guys who know how to put the ball in the back of the net. It's just not happening right now. And I think it's because we're, you can practice all week long with guys, and then all of a sudden, the night before you're supposed to fly cross country, somebody pulls up lame, and is out for the next game. There's a piece that during all your training all week, you've come to rely on that position for that with that player, and then all of a sudden that player is not available to you. It's a question of consistency and then opportunity, and we haven't been able to put those two things together. As you said, Brad, 4 games without a goal is stuff that you bang your head against the wall, and I know Jordan is trying desperately to make that happen. He's trying to put the right pegs in the right holes, and you got to take the shots. Who was it that said, guarantee you'll miss every shot you do not take?
I believe that was Michael Scott.
Yep. So there you go. That's what you got to go. That's what you have to do.
Dan, I have one quick final question for you.
Yeah.
How did Orange County beat Monterey?
Yeah, I was there. You guys right now hold the tiebreaker because you guys won at home. I think what happens if we win on Saturday at our place, I think it comes down to goal difference, right? Isn't it? Or number of goals that scored. So if we won 1-0, that still means we got 3 points, but you guys still take the tiebreaker because you scored 2. So that was a tough game, but it was fun to be down there with you guys. It was great to see a whole bunch of you. So that was fun. Did I answer the question, Dylan, or did I step on it?
I think you might have stepped. I mean, maybe I misasked the question because I put my foot in my mouth like 20 times on the show already.
No.
Let me rephrase. What does Orange County do on Saturday night to beat Monterey again?
You got to penetrate our defense, and you guys have got to make sure that we can't get near the 18 to try and take a shot. That's it. I don't know if it's Brad's yips. I don't know if it's just, I don't know if it's accuracy. I don't know what it is. We have produced some pretty spectacular shots, but you got to take them in order to make goals. So Orange County coming in on Saturday, you have to continue to be resolute in defense. Make sure that our guys don't get a chance to get near your goal, which has proved elusive to us thus far. But you've also got to be able to break down our back line, and the last couple of games, that's not been. Our guys have stood up. So it's going to be an interesting match to watch. I guess I'm going to be watching Pedro.
All right, Dan. The most important question of the night.
Yeah.
Who's winning the match? What's the final score?
I think our guys are going to find their shooting boots on Saturday, and I think it'll be 2-1. Monterey.
Brad.
Oh man, I'm gonna say 2-0 for Orange County. The yips continue, and hopefully Dogman up top is continuing to do the thing for Orange County.
Dylan?
1-0. Please, no injuries to anybody on either team.
There you go. Nicely done, Dylan. How about you, Ray?
My prediction: 3-0 Orange County. Going
All
big
right.
this one.
All right.
Super fan Dan.
Yes,
for our fans, any fans from Orange County making the trip up to Monterey Bay, what recommendations do you have for them? Any instructions you have for them? Where should they go to look for the Monterey supporters?
Well, so if you'll find our supporters groups largely in the supporters section, the east stand behind the beer garden. Those of you who've been to Cardinale Stadium, gates will open at 5. The vendors will be. We've got food trucks. We've got burgers. We've got great selection of beer. Let's see. Merch is out front. We also have a merch booth in the beer garden. If you guys are coming early, remember that that parking is they've got the prepaid parking on the south side of the stadium, and the pay on the day parking is on the north side. Parking is $20. Trying to think of what else. English Ales in Marina is a place that people have been gathering at for a long time. We now have the Brass Tap in Marina, just down the street from the stadium, which is a new sports bar kind of concept. It's only been open since April, so it wasn't open earlier or last year when you guys came up. So, anything else, Ray?
I don't know. I'm not the expert of Monterey Bay. You're the expert of the area, or Seaside, or wherever it is that you all play in.
Yep.
But
I'm always gonna point you to Marina restaurants and businesses, because that's where I live. And Seaside has a lot to offer as well, but you got to drive a couple miles south on Highway 1 to get down in there. So if you're at the Dunes Shopping Center, where the Target and Brass Tap and Chipotle and Smash Burger and Blaze Pizza, you're in Marina. So it's a mile down the street from the stadium. So if you're looking for a quick bite or a quick beer before you get to the stadium, that's where you want to be.
Awesome. Superfan Dan, thank you for taking some time to speak with us and prepare us for this upcoming match, an important match for both teams. And can I just say, condolences for your fans for having to pay $20 for parking. We're so spoiled here without having to pay for parking. It's really hard to hear. $20. That's nasty.
Season ticket holders get a discount on parking. But yeah, on the day parking for folks that are just getting, picking up those ticket deals, $2 or the 2-ticket or 4-pack or family packs or something like that. Yeah, $20 is hard to swallow when you get there. But again, we're on California State Monterey Bay campus. We pay what you got to pay in order to do that. Park down the street at the Dune Shopping Center and walk. It's a really straight, nice, well lit 1 mile walk, or Uber from there, either one. But yeah.
And for all those tow truck companies up in Monterey Bay listening to this podcast, we know where they're going to be hanging out looking for to tow some cars. Hey, and I guess our season ticket holders should feel sad that they don't get a discount on season parking or parking at the stadium. Dan, thank you as always for joining us. We look forward to it, and hopefully our fans get to say hi to you at the game.
Oz is also sad that he wasn't able to make it this episode. He is currently in Las Vegas at the airport waiting for his flight to get back home. So we look forward to seeing as many of you as we can that come up. Just you'll see the beard. It won't be hard.
If you're listening, Oz, stay away from the machines at the airport. The odds are horrible.
He has. Don't worry. It's the last shall we say, adult supervision that Oz got on a plane at like 5 o'clock. So he's only been at the airport for a couple of hours by himself. And I think he probably went to go find a burger or a pepperoni pizza somewhere. And he's hunkered down. It's all good.
There we go. Awesome.
Thanks,
thank you, Dan.
guys.
Have a good one. Good luck.
Too.
Let's do this. First, thank you, Superfan Dan, for joining us on the show. It's always fun to have fellow content creators that cover in the USL Championship join the show and talk to us, because we're not the experts of a lot of these other teams. Those people are. So that's awesome to have. Just like our good buddy here, Dylan, was able to contribute to another podcast recently over in, which podcast were you on, Dylan? The Rising Tide, one of those tides, Raising Anchor. Oh, I was on the Tide one. I was on one that had the Tide name.
You don't even know where you were 5 days ago. If you haven't listened, I said a bunch of things and most of them came true, and I look really smart now. So let me just say that it felt great to finally get a win on Saturday night, but my ego was also soothed and stroked a little. I was like, oh yes, I look like I know what I'm talking about for maybe the first time in history.
Remember, this is a family-friendly show, so when you go talk about soothing and stroking there, Dylan, please be careful with that. I was on Tide Talk recently, and I got to share a little bit about the thoughts of Orange County. That's one of the things we love when we do this show. We love interacting and contributing and collaborating with other content creators that cover the USL Championship. So if you are a podcast, a website, a blog, whatever you are, if you're interested in collaborating with us in an upcoming episode, let us know. We love having the guest come over. We love helping and contributing to your episodes as well, and providing content, whether it's the more analytical content Dylan provides or the more weird, outrageous, crazy content that I might provide when I join your show. Let us know what you want to do, and we'll work with you on that. Really quick, one topic I wanted to discuss with y'all before this show wraps up is this last match against Rhode Island FC. We got a new all-time saves leader for Orange County Soccer Club in Colin Shetler. In the 3 years Colin Shetler's been with the team, he has now taken over that sort of title from Patrick Rakowski. Obviously, in the history of Orange County Soccer Club, there hasn't really been longevity as far as goalkeepers, maybe 3 years max for most goalkeepers that have made a significant contribution to the team, but still a great thing for Colin Shetler, who's been a great goalkeeper for Orange County over the last 3 seasons, now the all-time saves leader. Dylan, your thoughts on that? Is that sort of a blessing, a great thing? Hey, all-time saves leader, but then it also means he probably had to do a lot more work back there. Maybe our defense wasn't giving him enough help. What are your thoughts on Colin now as the all-time saves leader for Orange County?
I'm really happy for him, and it's well deserved. He's been around and he's stuck around, and he's got a great song. It's nice to see. Does he care? Like, probably not, but it's nice to see somebody stick around, and it looks good for the league. It looks good for the club. He's seeing his development from the first couple matches he played, and what always comes to mind was really early on an error against San Diego, and watching those errors get ironed out of his own play and the way that he now produces or prevents, really. I guess his job is more preventing than producing, is incredible. I'm really happy for him. And even if you look at just this year, despite missing a whole bunch of matches and occasionally rotating, he still is like one of the top goalkeepers in the league in terms of number of saves. So, there's nothing wrong with the system as long as you've got somebody that is as capable and as competent and as confident as Colin Shetler should be right now.
Yeah, Dylan brought up the best chant. For anyone that's unfamiliar with it, try and figure out what that chant is. Go look up some information on it. I will say though,
they heard it on Saturday night.
Well, here's the thing though, you hear the group part of it, but it's hard to really hear the leader part of that chant. It's almost like I feel like that's the one chant from CLC where you need to have a megaphone out for the one person that's trying to lead the group, just so the people on the stream can hear the full beauty of that chant. But that's just my opinion on there. I know there's a lot of negativity towards things like megaphones in the CLC and in the supporters section there. But I feel like for that one chant, that would be an amazing sort of addition to that, so that everyone can hear the fun part of it, because everyone hears the Colin Shetler part of it, but what's the rest of it? Yes. And for those that haven't heard it, the Away Days channel on YouTube, they did a thing about a match at Orange County, and they actually really sort of spotlighted that chant, which was pretty cool. But again, I want it to be heard like fully. I want to hear the full breadth of it on the match streams. That would be beautiful. Brad, we're talking so much about a chant. What are your thoughts on Colin becoming the all-time saves leader for Orange County?
I mean, we've had some pretty amazing goalkeepers. We got Aaron, we got Mr. Rakowski, we got Shetler, and for Shetler to be the one standing out of all of that, kudos to him. He's earned it. He's worked his way up, and it's paying off for him.
And from someone that when Orange County signed him 3 years ago as a 22, 23-year-old from North Texas, I don't think the fans had much expectations or many expectations for Colin Shuttler at that time. Obviously, we had a great goalkeeping already in place, but the fact that Colin sort of took over that role and has held it for the last 3 years is amazing. Or 2.5 years, really. He took over that role sort of that first season he was with us. He showed a good stretch of goalkeeping, which I think earned him more minutes the following 2 seasons. But congrats, Colin, on that. Keep making saves, make more saves to lead us into the playoffs this year so we can be that dangerous opponent that no one wants to face come playoff time. Anything else? I'll let you two, before we go to predictions, because we still got to do. Oh, wait, we did score predictions. What the heck is wrong? I'm tripping.
Some more out.
Some more out. I knew that was coming, Brad. Brad was thinking it. Dylan said it. Dylan or Brad, do y'all have any other things that you want to share before we wrap this episode up?
As I know the vibe in the Monterey Bay camp is the same as we've held here, but just remember, it could always be so much worse. You could be an Everton fan and watch them throw away 2-0 leads in back-to-back match days.
All right. Dylan, any thoughts?
We got 3 points on Saturday, and I know there's maybe 1 or 2 people who are going to find themselves in Monterey. Come say hello. I'll be doing my very best to be a one-man County Line Coalition on Saturday night. And I guess, we should probably look at the score prediction game. But let's just stay behind the team, because things are starting to look up, and let's win out from here. You just got to get into the playoffs and win 4. And then we'll have 2 stars.
And the easiest way you look for Dylan in Monterey Bay is look for the shirtless man with a fanny pack. That'll be Dylan right there. Brad, you want to go over the standings for our...
Yeah, so this past week, Taylor predicted a loss, and a couple people who are close have sneaked up on her with the wins. And it's still clearly anybody's game with 7 games, I think it is, that we have left. So keep getting those predictions in. She's still run away from all of us here at the Soccer Cast. It's not embarrassing because she's just such good at predicting, but Michael and Kayvon are still within distance of getting there.
I'm just glad I'm doing better than Ray, who has only 27 points, which 1 point per game. I believe that is getting sacked territory. So once again, I'd just like to say some more out. Thank you for listening, everybody. Hey, while I'm here, if you would like to maybe read some stuff, because the show side of things is going downhill, let me tell you, the written content, the social content, out of this world, OCSCpodcast.com or at OCSC_soccercast, pretty much everywhere on social media.
And let me just say, Dylan, that score is partially because I've been really bad at submitting my picks this year. So that's partially why I have such a low score. But hey, no excuses. No excuses being made here for that. While we're talking, or we're doing some little plugs here, I do want to say, if you are a local business in the area that wants to help support a local podcast, we would love to help support your local business in collaboration. If you have any ideas or thoughts that you want to share with us or run by us, reach out to us, info@OCSCpodcast.com, and we can discuss what potential options we have. Again, we all are big fans of supporting local, whether it's a soccer team, businesses, local people. And that's why we'd love to work with you. So just let us know how you'd like to do this, and we'll try and set something up. What did we learn this episode, Brad?
I learned that we're not alone out there and feeling bad and sad. There are other teams struggling just as much as we are.
Dylan, what did we learn?
Man, I learned that once again, Orange County has the best parking situation in the entire league, and it's not even close.
What I learned is our season tickets holders are being screwed by not be given a discount on their parking for the season. So maybe the club can figure out a way to discount the parking for our season ticket holders to make things even better, because hey, teams like Monterey Bay discount their season ticket holders parking. Why can't we? With that said, I want to say thank you to our guest superfan Dan for joining us, along with my co-hosts today, Dylan, Brad, and our producer Andy. All you listeners that participated in the chats, had fun with us along the way. Thank you for doing so. And DK, no, Arsenal is not greater than Tottenham. They just got lucky this past weekend. Hey, this is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, and we are out.